So, Captain, let me ask you, what was your reason or motivation for joining the army?
For me, my father always been my source of inspiration or motivation. That further it and it's further me to strengthen to join the Malaysia military service.
Was your father in the army?
Yes, my father was a soldier for 21 years before retiring as Warrant Officer 1 in Royal Ordnance Corps.
Of all the Malaysia's military forces, you got the Air Force, you got
Yes.
the Navy, you have the Army. Why did you choose to join the Army?
I choose to join the army because of some reasons. Firstly is I love for the uniform.
Okay, that's a good one.
As inspired by my fathers. So I prefer to choose the army because I think in the other organization I cannot get this uniform. I cannot get to wear this uniform. And the value of this uniform I really appreciate. And I also think that by loving the uniform, it gives some spirit of military men to serve the nation with full of our heart.
So first you loved the uniform,
Yes.
then you discovered the value of the uniform, then
Yes.
you fell in love with the values of the uniform.
Yes.
Then the uniform became even more attractive.
Yes.
Okay. What did your friends and family say when you decided to join the army?
My family are very supportive, and they always support me whatever I do, as long as that things good for my future and my life. So also I have also my good friend that always support me. Whatever you do, they will support and try support me to be the best among the best.
Okay. So tell us the story of when you told your parents you were going to join the army. What was their reaction?
Actually, I never tell my parents to join the army. It began when I was 16 years old. I personally applied to join the Royal Military College at Camp Sungai Besi. So at the age of 16, I have slowly known about the army. So after I have been selected to be interviewed to enter the RMC, their reaction was very happy and did not expect that I will join RMC for 2 years.
Okay, so how old were you then when you actually joined the army?
How older? If through the RMC, it start from 16 years old. So after I finished the secondary school at RMC, I further my study to National Defence University of Malaysia at the age of 18.
Okay.
So I joined the NDUM as cadet officer. So the cadet officer was trained to be a officer in the defense organization. So I entered the NDUM on 2011, and after 5 years, I completely finished my training, and then I was commissioned as a second lieutenant on 2016.
Wow, okay, so, wow, all right. So here at the army, you have, a lot of options to do more studies.
Yes.
Do you plan to further your studies?
Yes, everyone in army have the chance to further their studies. Army is the good organization that always provide a good advantage to the selected person who is good in their course and their job. So if I get the chances to continue, I will do, because I'm very confident what will come to me and what happened to me, it is the best for me and for my life.
What would you love to be able to study if you had the chance of everything? What would be your choice?
I will choose about studies on the war, because
Oh.
I want to explore war and explore what is what it is in army. So
Okay.
that's all for me.
All right. So, joining the army, what was your first impression of what army life was like? What did you think it was like? And then when you joined, what was it really like?
My first impression is I thought I will face the hard life because it is new to me. So after years by years, I run the training, join the training, and then I see the beautiful of life in the army because army teach you very valuable moment, experience, and you in the army you can know many people, so you can have a good public relation with others.
But when you first joined, was it a bit of a shock? Like you have to get up so early, you have to do your training, like, you know, going from civilian life?
Yes.
For the first time you joined, what
yes.
was that like?
Yes, it is very shock. It
Okay.
was very shock because this is the first time. That is the first time. Before we don't have the routine like an army. So when you enter the army, it slowly change your attitude, change your personnel, change your appearance, and change all your life. Until I am very happy for now because I think army has changed my life overall.
Okay.
For overall.
I want to know, because we did the obstacle course. When you first did it, did you fall down in the water like me on the swing?
Sincerely, honestly, I didn't even fall.
You didn't fall?
I didn't fall in the wall.
Okay, you're
in the
just
water.
lucky. You're just lucky. All right. Tell us about your training and the training that led you to become a captain today. How is that different? What's the specialization about it?
It is same. When on 2011, I joined the cadet officer at National Defence University of Malaysia. So there, for 5 years, I have joined various training, which is physical training, communication skill, leadership skill, and others that let me day by day I will love the army. So after 5 years, I completely finished my training, and then I was commissioned as a second lieutenant. And then what lets I become a captain, because I see in the army the training and advantage provided to the personnel is very good, and it gives motivation to me to work hard and get what I want. Actually, I want in army. So it proven today by we can meet as a captain today, and I really pride with myself because I have achieved until here.
So it was your choice to go towards being a captain, or is it something that is naturally, you know, you go in the army, this is the stage, you work your way up the ladder? Is captain something like the natural order of progress, or do you choose it?
It is natural orders.
Okay.
In army, you must, to be a captain, at least you must pass your exam, which is we call exam bertulis dan practical.
Okay.
So if you pass both of the exam, then you will be promoted to the rank.
Got it. You've been in the army for how long now?
For
How many years?
5 years.
Okay, 5 years. What's the biggest thing that you have learned from, you know, living your life as a military man?
So the biggest thing I have learned in army is the time management and cooperation.
Time management.
Time management.
I'm terrible at time management. My boss is always screaming at me. Okay, so tell us about time management. Why is that so important?
Time management is very important for me because time control everything in army. If you fail 1 second to manage 1 second, then you will fail the war. It is the concept that if you want to attack the enemy, if you fail to manage 1 second, the enemy will attack us back and we will lose the war. That is for my view about the management of time. And the second is cooperation. Cooperation is also very important, which is we want to work together in one group. And in the army, we know we cannot stand on our own feet to conduct a training or to conduct a war.
Do you think that civilians would benefit from learning more and doing better at time management and cooperation? Do you think that's our problem?
I think a little bit, because there's a differentiation between army and the civilian. So the routine, the army is very nice because they have managed and can see the flow until from you wake up until you get sleep.
Okay. For you, what was the biggest challenge in joining or training or being in the army? Right, the biggest challenge, and how did you overcome it?
For me, the biggest challenge is sacrifice. Sacrifice for me is sacrifice because of what? Sacrifice when someone join in the army, they need to sacrifice their life in order to serve the nation. So your time is not only yours, it's not ours, and it is to organization. So that is I mean sacrifice, which is it can let you to be a good officer or good soldier in future.
What was the hardest thing to sacrifice for you?
Hardest thing to sacrifice. I think too far from family. That is, I think the big challenges or the hard thing I had to face.
Okay.
Because yes, I must overcome that because I personally choose to join the army, so I must accept the challenge. And for now, I love my job and continue my job for my family and myself.
With your new family?
Yes,
the
with
army.
my new family.
Okay.
In the army.
Before somebody decides to join the army, what kind of characteristics does a person need to have?
For me, self-motivation is very important because when someone have self-motivation, they control the mind, they can control themselves, and they know what actually their goal to enter this training center and join the training. If they cannot motivate themselves, I'm sure that they cannot finish the training and will have depressed about the training. So self-motivation is very important to motivate ourselves, to learn how we want to motivate others. And I think by having that, you will be a good soldier in future.
Kapten, do you think that motivation is something you can learn? Say you don't have it to begin with. Do you think that by joining the army, you can learn it because you can see it,
Yes,
around you?
You can learn about motivation because in the army we can see there. So many people are good. Many people are good in army. So for me, I always motivate myself to follow the good person, and because I want also to be a good person. So my motivation, I must choose good person to be my role model, and I will follow what he did or what his character.
Okay. So what's your advice to new recruits? It can be any kind of advice,
yes.
From what the best thing to eat in the canteen to the best way to cope with
Yes.
training, but what's your advice?
So my advice for the new recruit is stay strong, stay positive, and never give up. Never give up, because this is the starting line for them. So here is the Army Basic Training Center. Is the place where we want to create a new soldier, which is have knowledge and basic skill of a soldier. So here I think you must appreciate the chances that is given to you and do the best until you get what you want to achieve in the army. If you be someone, get yourself to be someone, and always remember to be a good person and show a good character. That is very important to have a good skill, knowledge and attitude in yourself.
Okay.
That's all for me for the advice for the new recruit.
Never give up.
Never give up.